So recently I was telling my son that I kind of wish there was more games that had unlockables. Like there was goals other than just beating the game or winning like in a fight like in Super Smash Brothers or something like that, but to actually unlock more and more tangible items in a game or characters or cars. And the universe gave me Hot Wheels Unleashed. Didn't even really, I'm going to be honest, didn't really even want to get the game. Like when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, oh, it looks kind of fun, it looks cool, but whatever. It's not going to be worth the $50 price tag, and it's just another racing game, which admittedly I'm not the highest on. I figure like I got Mario Kart and, whatever, I'm good. But wow, am I glad I picked this game up because it is so good. It is so much fun. And there's so much to it. Like, this game maybe takes customization a little bit too far, if you will. But so you start off pretty simple. You got your entry tracks, and the AI in itself isn't very combative. It's real simple. It kind of almost starts like, I don't know, like you are playing a kid's game. But it does ramp up, and it ramps up quite well to the point where you're playing multiple tracks over and over again to try to get past them because it's that much of a challenge. And I will say pretty early on as well, you do end up playing like the same tracks quite a bit. It does get a bit repetitive, but when it starts to really, I don't know, annoy you, then they move on and you're at a different track, you're at a different location. They kind of changed it up a little bit. They've added in little things here and there. And that's really the thing about this game. You are aware that you're playing as a Hot Wheels car, but at the same time, it sucks you in to it being competitive and you feeling like you really are driving a car. They do a great job, by the way, expressing the speed of a vehicle. And I know that sounds... What? Yeah, no, but it's very important for racing games to do that, to make you feel like you are going as fast as what they're telling you are. And Hot Wheels does a great job of this. There's some games that, they kind of miss on that, but this one really knocked it out of the park. The other thing about the game that I really liked, and I talked about the beginning of this, was the unlockables. So when you first fire up the game, it has a blind box. And I know, like, immediately, like, no. Because you see a blind box, you think microtransaction, and you think a game I don't want to play. But here's the thing. You can't purchase the blind box with real world money. You have to do it with, like, the Hot Wheels gold coins. And I really like that. Like, I appreciate a game that does that. They also have, like, a limited offers in there where you can purchase individual cars. I ended up having to pick up the Triceratruck. Because why not? Like, this game made me, I don't know, it took me back into my youth. And when I was a kid, I had like a whole bunch of like Hot Wheels cars. And there was two things I loved. I loved Hot Wheels and I loved dinosaurs. So you combine them and you give me Triceratruck, I'm in. I'm down. And and it was affordable. Like, nothing was out of the price range, I think, namely because you can't purchase it with real world money. And I just love that. I love a game that will keep you sucked in to unlock more and more and more and more game. Kind of like Super Smash Brothers did at the very, with the Spirit Path and all of that, where you would unlock multiple things, but at the end of the day, those didn't really affect you as much as this does, where you're actually unlocking new vehicles for, to use on different tracks and to see what's good, what's not. Not to mention that, if you happen to really like a vehicle, but the stats aren't there for you, you can upgrade it. Part of the things that you're earning is not only the gold coins for Hot Wheels, you're also unlocking gears and parts of like the course themselves for you to make your own track, because you can in fact make your own track. Now, I'm not very creative and not very good, so I didn't spend too much time doing that, but the fact that you could, and I could see this blowing up, to be honest. I could see a lot of creative people out there making just grand, epic tracks for people to race in. But yeah, the gears themselves you can also use, like I said, to upgrade cars that like maybe you just really like the style of or the look of. The other thing too is each vehicle has its own, I don't know, it has its own feel, if you will. Like, some I was way better at than others is controlling. I'm not great at any of them, to be honest, but there was some that like I could get the drift right, which is really important in this game, by the way. The biggest like two mechanics are the turbo, which does what it does. It makes you go faster, and then the other is like this drift turn kind of thing, which is it's the brake button. There's really like no braking, if you will. So like when you brake at a corner, you'll go into like a drift. And actually mastering that and not playing bumper cars is really difficult, and it's kind of the key to being like really successful in the game. So that actually took quite a bit of work, and in some vehicles it's easier than others for certain people. For me, I noticed that like my beloved Triceratruck, not so easy for me. I was bumping into walls left and right. Now the other thing about this game that I really like too is it kind of gives you a campaign mode, which I really enjoy. I like a game that is more than just like an arcade style racer. I like to have a purpose. I like to have kind of a goal. And this definitely lays that out for you, where you kind of start off, it looks like kind of a neighborhood, if you will, like from the top view down. And I might be wrong on my visualization of that, but that's what it feels like to me. And you're going from race to race to race. And there's races where you're in competitive mode, and then there's like time track mode and things like that. And it gives you these different pathways that you can go. Every time you unlock something, you're either getting like more gold coins, you're getting a blind box, like those outright just give you a blind box to play with, or I think that there's other boss fights as well that are only like cars that are only unlockable through boss fights, I should say, and that's part of that as well. Now honestly, I'm not sure if you can get them in blind boxes or not, but you combine all of that together and you have a really great game. But that's not even all of it, because the multiplayer is really, really fun. Me, my wife, my son, we all sat down and we ran a bunch of tracks and just had the time of our lives, honestly. I haven't sat down and played a game with all of them, and all of us just enjoyed it, able to jump in as quickly as we could, because that's the other thing too about the game. It's not difficult to get into it. It's very basic controls. There's like 3 buttons that do everything pretty much. And we were able to just spend like a good 2-3 hours ultimately playing this game. And in fact, gotten to a point where, oh hey, are we going to play this weekend? Hell yeah, we are. It's going to be a lot of fun. I love a game that gives you so many options and so many modes to play in. I really, really enjoyed it. I think that this could be, if gotten the attention that it should, I think this beats Mario Kart, if I'm being honest. I know it's difficult because we love the Mario characters and we love the Nintendo characters, but when you move away from just the characters themselves and you look at the actual game and you look at what it has to offer you, this has a lot. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I think that a lot of people would as well, given the chance. But I'm kind of curious, have you guys picked it up? Are you going to pick it up? What's your thoughts on Hot Wheels Unleashed? For me, I was pleasantly surprised, and that, I don't know, that draw of being able to unlock something every time I play, it just got me sucked in, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Anyway, guys, please like, subscribe, do all that stuff. I appreciate you. Take care.